we'll finish chapter 1. So we have just defined what is agribusiness, right? That we introduced quickly. We introduced the development of agribusiness. We have went through the value chain, right? Quick, let's say that wrap up. Let's take a look the agribusiness in the United States today. The value chain. This graph to explain you. So through this value chain, so we start with this natural resource and then the input. The water, right? It can be the land, all right? So we have the input. This can be the seeds or the labor. Generally, let me call this input. We all use this resource, right? And then we start with the agriculture production and then also for sure other production, right? So this is, remember we talk about the core industries, right? And then there are the support industries throughout this agribusiness value chain. Through this distribution, transportation, we arrive to the consumers eventually. I want you to also understand that there will be other things. We call this resource or other resource. It can be, in this case, this is the financial structure or the financial capital, right? So this financial capital will get into there. And then other things. Let's say we are talking about the science, right? So this can be the technology getting to, involved or integrated into this value chain. It hasn't, in the book, it hasn't introduced about very important, although we use labor, but nowadays talk about this agribusiness management. We need human capital. So let me just put this human here. And then this is regarding the human capital. Like this, let's say the physical capital. I haven't, there will be other things like the infrastructure. We call this physical capital. My version is more complete. I just put this, physical capital. And then all this is throughout this value chain, agribusiness. Or don't forget, very important, let's say the big environment. In this case, they call in the textbook, they say this, it is subjected to the political considerations, right? So government, right? Regulations. But anyway, I want you to have a, like a big picture regard, for this agriculture business, agribusiness industry. There will be another very important, we call this economic paradox. How to understand that? Actually, I can just tell you one thing, or once, like one term, efficiency plus this effectiveness. When we talk about efficiency and effectiveness, students, if you have learned about particularly microeconomics, efficiency, effectiveness are very important. Competitive market encourage efficiency and effectiveness. This is our responsibility as the managers. Our responsibility or our function is to use this resource, efficiently, effectively, and then we can achieve our goal. This goal can be the profit goal, can be the let's say production, cost reduction, using this value chain, and then plus, those resources we use, those, let's say that the capital we use. Somehow it is much easier to understand. First of all, I want to tell you that throughout this book, we are following a model, let's say I call this basic management model. You will see that from other books, they are using quite a similar structure. Let me tell you this element, all right? So when we talk about management, not only for agribusiness management, we will have the 6 different components. Later on, I change the structure, but I just want you to quickly understand how we can, like have by understanding the management, we have the knowledge, we have the skill, right? And then we accumulate experience, we, achieve our goals. Before we start the 4 functions, all right? So we will need to, first of all, I call this understanding. 2 understandings. The first thing is understand the role, understand what knowledge we need, what skill we need, right? And then practice. This is the experience. The second understanding is about the environment. It can be the broad environment. And then this can be another more, let's say, in the next chapter, we will talk about the task environment. Okay, so broader environment is thinking about the society, the government, but also we have this so-called this more direct environment. So we are competing with other companies, right? We are interacting with our customers, right? We have our suppliers, we have our customers. This is the environment we are playing. Understand this two, let's say two understandings, right? I already mentioned. And then it is the time, as a manager, we needed to fulfill our responsibilities. They call this 4 functions, the 4 functions of a manager. Take a quick look. They use a different sequence, as you can see. They start from planning, organizing, leading, and then controlling. I changed the sequence. I also changed the sequence. Start with organizing and then end with leading. Okay, organizing people, right? Organizing labor, organizing people, organizing activities. So usually you join a company, you see the organizational chart already. You know the function. You are not a challenge, or you are not supposed to change it. You follow it. You need to understand that. And then once we have this structure, we have this organizational chart, people in different positions, and then you start to plan. It can be a strategic plan. It can be the functional plan, right? Different levels plan. Also, they use controlling. But this controlling actually is operation plus monitoring. It should be managing, monitoring, adjustment, right? So throughout this operation procedure, but planning and then controlling is more like the tasks. I want to emphasize this leading function, leading people, right? So we have the organization. I mean, I like it to focus on this people, and then we end up with the leadership, how we lead, how we motivate. What is? So simply speaking, directing employee, we are guiding employee, and then we are motivating employee. So this become, from this management, this become the leading. I move some of these diagrams like from the later chapter. I just want to share with you the structure I changed, because I think planning and controlling, this is the activities throughout the business, right? We are guided by the organizing, guided by leading, right, throughout this whole process. If I have to say planning and controlling, this is more like the hard skill. And then organizing and leading become hard skill plus the softer skill. I think this is the basic management model. We will discuss this. We have plenty of time to discuss that. But here, I just want you to keep in mind, we have 2 understanding. We start with 2 understanding, okay? And then we go through the different functions.